Last Thursday, we took you inside St. Anthony House, a place where chronic alcoholics go to live, drink, and sometimes die. We
received lots of comments on the story, like Tina on our Facebook page, who says she's praying for the men and their recovery. Another viewer commented on KARE11.com that St. Anthony House may be enabling their behavior. Tonight, we're heading back to find out who foots the bill and ask the question, should supporting housing exist at all? Here's KARE 11's Trisha Volpe.
This is what we do here. This is it. You be the drummer.
Many of the men at St. Anthony House are drinking themselves to death. This isn't treatment, and it's nothing like detox.
That's probably evil eye. Oh yeah, old green I'll get you too.
This St. Paul apartment building is a so-called wet house, a place for chronic alcoholics, many in the final stages of their addiction, to live out the rest of their lives if they choose drunk.
I have another drink then.
Patrick has been here for 10 years, a regular on the patio. This is where the men are allowed to drink since they can't bring alcohol to their rooms.
Come on, man.
Where are we going?
Hold on to that. Don't drink it all. It's Christ, Wayne. Share.
By the time they move into this place, they pretty much have had their last fight.
Bill Hockenberger manages St. Anthony House for Catholic Charities, a place he has turned into a home for these lifelong drinkers. Most can't and won't kick their addiction. Treatment, detox, prison, nothing has worked. At St. Anthony House, they get to drink all they want, but must still follow Bill's rules.
Thank you. Okay.
Check alcohol in at the front desk. Keep the place clean. Be respectful.
I feel when they walk through the doors here that this is their house and they need to feel safe.
We are meeting people where they're at, and for late-stage alcoholics, it's often in a very dark place.
Tracy Berglund is Director of Housing and Emergency Services for Catholic Charities, which runs many programs for the homeless. And most of these men, before they came here, were homeless.
It's a real problem for the community when there are folks who are inebriated, who are on the street, or maybe panhandling.
And it's expensive. Berglund says a homeless alcoholic might cost the public $1 million over his or her lifetime. Among the costs, $100 for each night in jail, $200 for every trip to detox, close to $1,000 for an emergency room visit. It costs $48 a day to house these men at St. Anthony. But you are still paying for some of it. The city of St. Paul owns this building.
Staff.
Ramsey County pays operating expenses.
Hey, Charlie.
And Catholic Charities provides services for the residents. The organization runs another facility, Glenwood House in Minneapolis, with a similar public-private funding structure.
It's also designed to keep the residents and the clients here off of the streets, off of the public places, out of your front yard.
But is this the right approach to allow chronic alcoholics what is, in part, a place to drink?
It's not a wet or dry issue.
William Moyers is president of Foundation Relations for Hazelden Treatment Centers. He has described wet houses as places of death and despair, and to some extent they are. But even Moyers says they may have a role to play.
Addiction is a chronic illness, and sadly, not everybody makes it. Whether you're coming out of a facility like Hazelden or whether you're coming out of a facility like Catholic Charities, at the end of the day, what really counts is that the addict or the alcoholic is treated with dignity and respect. Is it enabling? I don't know if it's enabling as much as it is giving up.
I've never given up on any of the residents here. I've never given up on any of the clients, because the minute you do, they'll turn around and fool you.
Despite extreme addiction, each St. Anthony resident can get treatment if he wants. In fact, 3 to 5% of St. Anthony residents eventually get sober.
Get this thing started up here.
That's what Len Schlick hopes for. He's an alcoholic who used to live in homeless shelters. He now lives at St. Anthony House. Today, instead of looking for a place to sleep, he spends a good part of the day online.
And then a lot of times I'll use the search engine.
Looking for education opportunities and jobs.
I don't plan on dying here. To each his own. I mean, for some people there that absolutely cannot make it out in society. And this place is a literal godsend for them because they wouldn't make it. You know, it would be the matter of life and death for some residents here.
Perhaps what's most striking at St. Anthony House are the many moments of quiet. All of the men don't drink all of the time. They often recall the jobs they once had, the families they don't see enough, life before addiction.
So do I get a drink of beer or?
And guys like Bill Hockenberger say even these men,
I'd rather have a Budweiser though.
who seem to have lost everything to alcoholism,
Bill let me drink here.
deserve dignity and compassion. Some may die at St. Anthony, but they go there to live.
The clients here, the residents here didn't ask to be born this way. This is a picture of life's other side.
For the KARE 11 News Extra, I'm Tricia Volpe.
At $48 a day to house a client at St. Anthony, the cost is about $1 million a year for 60 residents. There are 4 wet houses in Minnesota, 2 run by Catholic Charities.